I got the OnPoint experience. You know why? Because my name is Dr. Dre. I got the Yasmin OnPoint experience. I got the Big Jeff OnPoint experience. I got the Ray OnPoint experience. And of course, I'm with the man D Nasty with the OnPoint experience, because that's the only way Dr. Dre rolls. OnPoint experience.
And we're back, and you just listened to the K with the income tax song.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we got a lot of people calling in. Thank you for that, 929-22746. And just know that you can go on our website, www.onpointradioshow.com, and watch the show. Or you can go on our Facebook page, OnPoint Experience or OnPoint Crew, or Yasmin Hurst. Apparently, I'm sharing it too. And then after the show is over, we usually do a little YouTube replay, as well as we have our own podcast now on iTunes.
Big like that.
We're waiting to hear back. Waiting to hear back from Google and Spotify, guys.
We big like that. We big like that.
Let's go, Google.
But Ruben, but ruling things out, we just want to make sure that we can get the best message, maximize the presence to you, our listening audience. And that being said,
yes. In an effort to continue to do what it is we do, which is give people a platform and an audience. We're fortunate today to have Mrs. Patricia Morrisey as our guest this morning.
Woo! Get the energy up. Where's the energy, everyone?
There you go. I'm vibing with the song so much.
Right, we gotta stop and listen to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You can't
Can't talk over Mike.
You can't talk. You gotta let him talk. You gotta let him sing.
Mike is like E.F. Hutton. When Mike speaks, everybody listens.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
So, Mrs. Morrisey is a mother. She's a wife. She's a Brooklyn native who now lives in Queens. Correct? And an author. Nice young lady. I just want to get straight into this interview.
The nice young lady. No, you gotta give a little bit more information.
I have so many. Well, I have so many questions.
Before you do the questions, you gotta introduce her.
The excitement.
He making her sweat.
Let me just say that, Ms.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There's a lot going on in our world today as far as the policing community is concerned. And what I wanted to ask you and to just jump into right away is to give you an opportunity, if you like, to just answer questions in reference to how do you feel when you hear things that go on as far as the policing community is concerned, the negative comments that are made, and knowing that you have a son who's on the force.
Okay, let me first say this. I have two wonderful sons, which is a blessing. I've never had any issues with them growing up, besides the fact that, they didn't clean their room, and I'll take that, just so you know, easy.
You gotta pick our battles.
Absolutely. So my youngest is, into the music producing thing. It's a wonderful thing. He studies his craft and he knows where he's going with that. And my oldest, in his 30s, is NYPD anti-terrorism. Right. So my thing with the policing thing is everybody has children.
Right.
Okay. My son is my child. Right. At the end of the day, I want him to do his job. Is to protect and serve. He took that oath with many other women and men, but also want him to come home at the end of the night. All right, let's be clear. Right. Okay, he was my son before he belonged to NYPD. Right. Okay. As a black woman, and here we all know there's a lot going on in the police force, and our community is disturbed by it. So there's good people in the police department and there's bad people in the police department.
As with everything else.
Everything else. So, yeah, that puts him in a little rock and a hard place sometimes. He is a brother, but he is a brother in blue also. Right. So his job is to basically go to work, and for those people, if there are any in his force that have some issues, you teach them. You teach them. It's about education. People fear what they don't know. And if you have never been around a black young man, then you fear them, because what you see is what you read in a book, on TV. You've never really had a personal dialogue with them.
Right.
So you stop the fear.
Right.
You basically stop the fear, and that's the same thing with us. We are uncomfortable with things we're not around. My children's been around different races their entire life, so they're comfortable with it, you know. But not every black child has, and they also watch TV and they feel like, you know what, I don't like them for some reason. But what is your reason if you've never been around anybody?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, one of the things I want to ask you, when people become authors,
Yes.
it's usually because something has struck them,
Yes.
right? Something hit home.
Yes.
What was the aha moment that made you say, you know what, I need to write about this? Is there anything that actually happened within your house, or you just happened to just sit back and watch the news and just seeing what was happening out there with the police officers and our young black men?
Yeah, my book is not about the police officers or anything.
Right.
It's fiction. It's for young adults.
Right.
It is because I was Mandisa's fiction somewhat.
Right.
It's because I experienced the things that Mandisa experienced,
Right.
and I have a joy of writing. And I fortunately was blessed with a great 6th grade teacher, Miss Bryan. I don't know where she is. Shout out to Miss Bryan.
Right.
That allowed me to write and allowed me to make mistakes in grammar and be like, you know what? It's not about your penmanship. It's not about your grammar. It's about where your head is at. You know what? You have a vision and imagination that's great. And sometimes you need someone in your life to tell you that. I mean, it wasn't just Miss Bryan. It was my parents. But, they kept saying this. And then, not to throw out my age or anything, you get to a certain point and I was like, I want to write something. I'm going to do it before I'm 50. And this is about dreams. You want to do something? Do it. Go for it. And age is not the issue. Mandisa Footprints came out in 2015 when I turned 48 years old. So things can be done, and that was scary to me. And it's not the biggest thing ever, but, it is a second income. And I feel great about really going into my next project because this one was successful.
Great. One of the things I noticed about Mandisa's Footprints in the book as I read it is that after every chapter, there's a blank page. Can you explain what that is about?
Yes. I grew up with a diary. Yeah, you guys remember the diary days, right? Especially the girls had a little key.
Hide underneath everything.
Yeah, had a little key that broke inside the thing or whatever.
Of course.
But you know what? Diaries allowed us back in the day to put our thoughts down on paper. So at the end of the day, anything that was going on, whether it be good or bad, we were able to deal with it. We were able to go back and be like, you know what? 2 months ago, I was feeling mad crazy about Joe. I made up that name, by the way. Maybe I made up that name.
Yeah. I forgot.
He's like we know it.
I was feeling I had the biggest crush on Joe and thought I could never move on, and now I have this person. So when you able to go back and realize that things get better, you become a better person. And unfortunately, these days, everything is mostly technology, and they don't write that often. So they feel when you can't go back and see where you was, you feel like it's never going to end.
Right.
And I just did that because I know that, they don't like to write. That's not what they do. And I'm not trying to change the game. That's not what I'm doing. But if you can do both, that would be great.
Right.
If you can write and text, can you do that for a moment,
I'm really, first of all, I'm really proud, you being a mom of 2 sons, and you can see the pride in you. And you talk about
absolutely.
And being an author, I don't think I want to commend you. It's beyond a side hustle.
That's right.
It's like an accomplishment, and I totally get it. Along with the creativity side, do you often share the same type of writing style of anybody that you have read, or is there anybody that you model in your writing, or is this just all you?
This is basically all me. I mean, I love to read also. So reading, I guess nobody never asked me that. That's a good question. I guess when I'm reading certain things, I kind of like the way it flows. So maybe unconsciously, I might be doing that, but I never really thought about it until today. Thank you.
Well, Toni Morrison has a certain style.
Yes.
Zora Neale Hurston has his mind.
Right.
Depending. But, I read it. I have some. I said, oh, okay. But I just sometimes we get inspired by certain things we see, read, or do. And so you being an author, and you never know, you might be an inspiration for other writers as well.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you too. My thought just went out the window. But another question I have for you is, when you're writing, of course it's therapeutic. We all know that, right? It becomes, you get everything out. But
Will is an author too, by the way.
Well,
Hello.
That's why, you know.
When you're writing, right, and you
Yes.
get into that zone, that focus,
yes.
there's never an end moment. Like, you just want to continue to keep writing. How did you say, you know what, the book, this is it. I can't write anymore. How did you get to that point?
Because I was thinking about my audience for this one.
Okay.
And their attention span, which is why it's so thin. You know, again.
Make the point and then get out.
Yeah. You know what? If I make it too thick, are they really going to sit down and read it? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want them to be able to pick it up, you know, read the chapter, you know, on the bus, and then be like, okay, I'm done. Write something. And then get to the other one. Just about attention span. Now, if I change my audience, it would be a lot bigger and a thicker type of thing. But I was just trying to focus on that young lady right there that really don't want to sit down and read and write.
Yeah.
So her mother can say, or a parent can say, just read this one little chapter real quick, girl, and stop it. You know, like that. That was basically why I ended that like that.
If I might ask as well, sometimes our art comes from things that we've dealt with in our life. And I noticed that Mandisa had to deal with modern day topics, even though this was written a couple years ago, such as bullying. If you could tell us, were you a victim of bullying? Or?
Absolutely. Growing up in Bed-Stuy, shout out to Bed-Stuy.
Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn in the house. I was bullied. You know, it was more. You know, it was just, I ain't even gonna name her name, but if she walked in right,
You gotta do that now.
I won't.
We all remember.
You always get bullied, right? I won't. But if
Clarice. That was her name.
No.
No, if she walked in right now, I would know her, but she probably wouldn't know me.
And they
You
never
understand
do.
what I'm
They
saying?
never do.
She didn't know the impact, but
Yeah.
I would know her.
I
She
see.
wouldn't
You're
know
still
me.
angry about it. I see.
Well,
Wow.
I'm really not.
Give her some water.
I have forgiven her.
Okay, you have. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I moved on.
Okay.
But nonetheless, yes, she bullied me, and I did get over it.
Okay.
But one of the stories in the book, seriously, is fiction again, but it's about bullying and how you get over it. Like, again, I was able to have her bully me and go home and then not have to deal with her until the next day because there was no social media.
Right.
You know, it was just me and Laura Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie, and I can just, you know, straight up get in my world. Whereas now, if you bully, you can be bullied all day.
That's
Right.
right.
True. Social media is horrible.
Right, it's a horrible thing. So, again, for that individual that's going through it, at least she'll be able to put down her thoughts when she finishes that story about bullying, or maybe she'll feel that she wants to tell someone in her household, whatever the case may be. I just want them to know that, you know, bullying does end. Suicide rates in young people scares me these days because they feel like this is going to last forever, and as adults, we all know that things do not last forever, good and bad.
That's right.
Word up.
You understand what I'm saying? And so that bothers me a lot. And
Are there? I'm sorry. Will,
No, go ahead,
I don't mean to cut you off. Are there any new future projects that are going to be coming out?
well, you spoke about the bullying chapter of it. I have been approached where people are trying to do like I guess like a play about bullying, so we can take the schools on that one particular story in the book. So it's in the works.
Okay.
You know,
Awesome.
Yeah, well,
things are in the works. Things are always in the works. But I feel positive about it.
Good.
I came this far.
you know, that was one of the things that I was going to
Sometimes
actually
it makes
say.
you stronger.
I was going to say, through your book, there are certain segments I'm sure that you can put on stage
Yes.
to make your point. But one of the things I have to say that I think is very unorthodox, but I think is hitting the point when you have a blank page. So you give the reader an opportunity now to he or she express their thoughts and almost kind of be a part of your mission.
Yes.
In this, and I thought that was clever. I thought that was very clever.
Thank you so much.
So if you're in a room with young women
Yes.
and you want to share this book, like what are the points in the book that you would have them look to first?
Well, you know, a lot of times I have given out a few books to Girl Scouts and people like that, and I ask them what did they like about the book. You know, this is their generation. What did you like? What could have done better? They tell me a lot of stuff.
Oh, you don't want to hear that one, right?
Yeah.
They answer.
Yeah.
We didn't ask you that, really.
Yeah, really, but
They always want to talk to you about something that's not in the book.
Usually you
very-
get nothing. It's been
they're
fantastic.
very opinionated. Unlike when we was
Right, we were
younger,
quiet. No,
were quiet.
nothing,
No,
ma'am.
if I say what could I have done better, they'd be like, I can tell you. I'm like, oh. But
Right.
I let them decide where they want to go with the book. You know, like again, it was basically for them, and the flow is all about them. So when I'm sitting around at book signings and I give them the book. I let them read some. It's easy. It's an easy read.
Yeah,
They read it right there, and then they come back with questions or answers and stuff like that. Or some of them, you know, they want to be writers. It's not about the book. They be like, "Well, what did you do to write this?" You know? That's the question. You know.
Where can we get Mandisa's footprints? What can it be purchased?
It can be purchased on Amazon.com, and then I also have a website, JALE526 that you can call me, and I can do book signings as well.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's self-published, so you know.
Was
doing my thing.
the title like a no-brainer? Did you have the title before writing the book, or it was like did it just kind of
The
manifest?
Mandisa I had, and I don't even know a Mandisa. I don't even know where that name
Somebody's
came
bully.
from.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Right.
But the footprints is because
awesome.
it's following her around.
Sure.
With her different experiences. So that's just the traveling part of it. It could have been Mandisa's travels, but it just footprints this work.
I think that's a great idea. Are you gonna have a part 2 to that, right? Tell me.
Yes.
Good.
A part 2, because Mandisa does many things.
Right.
This is just a few things that she's done right now, but you know, as preteens, we do a lot of stuff.
Well, you should have her like
But
in her
there's
20s.
no profanity, no sex, none of that in my book. I just want to be clear. It's not
Good,
in
clean,
there.
wholesome reading.
It's clean.
You should have her get into like a relationship and then come back up here and we can have a conversation.
Well, she had a crush. She did have a crush, you know, because we all had that. You know, she had a crush,
Right.
but she has not yet had a relationship. She's a little young for that.
When she does, just come back up.
So
Trying to
what's
get
the
a
next?
co-writing credit.
Yeah. So what's your like next step? Is Pat?
As Pat.
Right. Not right. As Pat.
I'm glad you asked that question too. I'm just trying to dive into so many different things. Again, we're gonna let Mandisa live, but you know what? I'm a mature 50-year-old, so I'm trying to take this in another direction. And let Mandisa live, but I'm also trying to write something more adult-like. You know, because adults want to hear things from me too.
We want to hear sex,
Right.
profanity, and
all that good
You want to hear all
stuff.
the non-wholesome stuff. When is that happening? Right.
You know, I'm working on it.
Okay,
I'm working
great.
on it.
Make
That's
sure you make it
awesome.
a play.
Well, that's the goal.
I want to see.
Right. We got a lot of stuff for you to do, don't we?
You know what?
Everyone got ideas.
You know what? And I'm going to attempt to do them all. How about that?
That's what I'm talking
Good deal.
about.
Good deal.
So maybe do we have a treat or something?
We have a treat?
Yeah. D Nasty, can you rock with us for
Check
1
this
second?
out.
Oh, snap. I have a treat.
Oh, she said, "Oh snap."
I just show my age. Who said snap?
Lyrical achiever. This is about the footprints of Mandisa by Parthesia Morrisey. I don't know if I said the name right, but you know it's me. Understand that I'm coming through, and I do this every day and every night. And it's right, this is the journal for the young girls. I feel like Slick Rick saying hey to the young world. Gotta show them everything that's going on, so you understand that the feeling is strong. And you know we're exploring the horizons. The book is purple because you're a warrior. You understand that we just doing everything here that's influencing. And you know we coming through here, pulling in, pull it together. This story was about bullying. That's a serious situation in a community. We gotta override all of the immunity from young people to old adults, cause you know we're not all at fault. So we gotta stop that and bring it up to positivity, and understand that really you can't get with me, and understand this is exactly what we do. Man, Mandisa's footprints, can't wait for the part 2. Let's go.
That's what we do.
I love that.
And I gotta tell you, that's off the top of the head.
I know.
It has to be.
That
Nasty, that was awesome.
Just keep being nasty, bro.
Our lyricist correspondent.
Love it.
Yeah. Great.
Well, Ms. Morrisey, we really thank you for gracing us with your presence this morning.
Thank you.
Shout out to your husband as well, who's a New York City
Yes.
corrections officer
Yes,
who
he is.
accompanied you this morning.
Yes.
And got you here safely.
Let it be known.
Every man protects a good
Name
woman.
not John. Name not John.
Shout out
Behind
to
every great woman is a great man.
No. Beside,
Oh, here we go.
beside every
Okay.
good man is a great
You
woman.
don't
We stand
listen.
equally.
Ladies love
Statistically
Shay.
Statistically,
Thank you guys for letting
Okay,
me be on point.
wait. Goodbye, Pat.
Thank you for letting me be on point, and you guys
Thank
are
you.
on
You
point.
got
I
you.
loved
You were
it.
awesome.
All right.
We appreciate you guys.
Thank
we
you
appreciate you
so
so much.
much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be right back.
appreciate
Queen
it.
Dream, take us out.